Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're at, and hello. So, today's video is going to be about IPAs, daily tracking, stuff like that. Lots of reasons why we need to be utilizing this function of our business. So in our workstation, it is something called the Daily Power Hour. It's a piece of paper, it's 2 pages. Everyone should use this. Everyone should have this. Sorry. Everyone should use this. Everyone should have this. This is important. It basically breaks down in the front of how you can dedicate your daily power hour. One thing that I've always learned is that you may not have hours to dedicate to your business. So what you do is you start small. When I say you start small, you start very small. I used to do the 30 to 45 minutes that I had in between classes when I first started. I would do my trainings. I would watch my training videos. I would touch base with my sponsor, touch base with my teammates, stuff like that, right? So with that being said, I was told about IPAs and what is an IPA, and I'm not talking about the drink. What is an IPA, how does an IPA work, and so forth and so on. So when you think of IPA when it comes to the business, you need to know that that stands for income producing activity, which is any and everything that you do in your business to produce income. It's an activity. It's a thing you do. It can range from tons and tons and tons of things like cleaning your workspace. As y'all can see, my desk is clean. The whole desk is clean. So that's a part of my IPA because you can't function in a mess. I mean, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you shouldn't want to work like that. Does that make sense? So what you should want to do is have some kind of constant flow. So one of the things we're going to talk about in this is going to be this sheet here. And the purpose of this sheet and how this sheet works and stuff like that, so forth and so on. So if you were to go to your workstation and you were to type in Daily Power Hour, this PDF file will pull up. You need to print this out and print out a bunch of these pages. A bunch of these pages. Because you're going to need them later, obviously. And then another thing that I suggest you doing is your daily tracking log. This is for your PRV, your TWV, your GWV, your group, team, active, frontline, new frontline. Basically, these are your totals. You're totaling these numbers for the month. For the month. Even if it's just you log it. Even if it's just you and one person, you log it. Doesn't matter. You log everything on this paper because this also is going to show your growth. This is also going to show if it's just you. This is going to also show if you're going to make annual sales or not. I use a piece of paper, like a regular piece of loose leaf paper, to track my sales. But this is what this is for. So I would say this is just something that you can maybe take like 10 minutes and go over. Especially because you should already know how to get to your reporting in the workstation. You should already know how to do that. We're not going to go over that in this video today. So basically, let's talk daily power hour and income producing activities. Again, you're going to hear me and everybody else refer to those as IPAs. So like I said, an IPA can mean a million and one things. It can mean everything. It can mean nothing. Literally take 30 to 45 minutes a day starting. If you feel like you don't have all the time in the world, like if you don't have time to dedicate to your business, meaning not you don't have time to dedicate to your business, meaning you don't have all of the hours in the day that you want because of work, school, parenting, home life, personal life, whatever the case may be. Even if you take 5 minutes to create a list on Monday, and then Tuesday upon your list, like create a to-do list. Like before we get into this, something so simple as creating a to-do list. This is just things that I was thinking about. These are ideas. These are more ideas. These are things I have to order. Create a list. Make it a visible list. Make it something that you can check off. And a lot of people use their phone. I don't use my phone when it comes to stuff like that. I use Post-its. I use pens and piece of paper. Like, I got Post-its on my calendar. I got Post-its on my computer. I got Post-its around my office. Just strictly for the sole purpose of me needing to remember to do the things that I need to do on a timely manner. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments and I'll go ahead and I'll clear that up. Let's talk this page right here. So going over it, it's talking about action items. But before it gets into action items, it does tell you that there are 2 ways that you can use the Daily Power Hour. Dedicate 1 hour each day to complete the following tasks and watch your business grow. 2, carry your Power Hour sheet with you throughout the day and work on these tasks as you go through your daily routine. I never said once you had to stop and sit down and do something. If you can dedicate 60 minutes uninterrupted, I would definitely suggest doing the sit-down version of this. If you can't because of life, and that's 100% okay, go ahead and do the second part. Keep this with you and kind of go through it as you can. So we're going to move forward. So you have action items, follow-up, network, check-in, share the opportunity, cultivate these things into vital behaviors. And that breaks down into improving things, prospects, recognizing excellence, keeping yourself up to date. Keeping yourself up to date is very important. I say this all the time. One of the biggest things I say is to always check your news station. There are times when I'm just like super lazy and I really wish that I could just get the information posted by somebody else. But that's not how this business works. I need to be on top of myself. So after I'm done with my morning routines of getting everybody out the house and having my coffee, I check my news tab. I check my workstation. I check if my downlines, anybody got orders, if anybody's active, if anything's changed in the past 24 hours. That's always the first thing that I do. And then moving on, it says others. And then under others, it tells you to make these behaviors a habit to ensure you continue success. And then there's leadership calls and stuff like that, so forth and so on. And lastly, it's telling you to create a to-do list. Use the template on the next page to track your goals and jot down any tasks or errands you need to complete. That's when this piece of paper comes in handy. This piece of paper is very simple. I don't know why I couldn't open this, by the way. It literally says date, top goals of today. So you have 3 top goals that you want to achieve today. And then you're just going to break down your business. It's monthly goals, TWV, GWV, current PRV, TWV, and GWV. And then it says your daily status. Team enrolled new consultants. Team size, group size, person enrolled new consultants. If that is 0 every single day, that is okay. I do say in parentheses, put what you want. So if you want 1 new consultant by blah, 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 let's just say you have 0. And then it's just you. And you're putting that you want your team to grow. You want to do this. You want to do this. Put that in this box right here. Put it here because this is a daily thing that you're going to work towards every day. You're going to work towards getting somebody to join. You're going to work towards sharing the opportunity. You're going to work towards getting somebody to host a party. If you have a person on your team, y'all need to go through this. Even if y'all go through this every day for 30 minutes. Just like, hey, don't forget to do this. Hey, don't forget to do this. Sometimes you need that reminder. Sometimes you need that positive reinforcement or at least that accountability partner. Sorry. I'm moving right along. And then it's follow-ups. Everything from here on out is a 5-step plan. Follow-ups. What are the things you have to do as far as your follow-ups go? Networking. How many people have you spoken to today? That can even go as far as writing your list of 100. Doing the first 10 people on your list of 100. Creating opportunity packets. Picking up the phone and calling somebody. Following up with a lead, a prospect, something like that. And then there's check-in. Check-in with your team. If you don't have a team, keep in mind that's not to necessarily say that you don't have to do the check-in part. Check-in with yourself. Check-in with your sponsor. Check-in with the other people that's on your team with you and your sponsor. But if it's just y'all two, that's perfectly fine as well. Check in to see how y'all can both balance out to make each other better. And then it's share the opportunity. Again, I'm literally just reading off this piece of paper. You don't have to do this word for word or verbatim on how this is done, but this is literally just something that kind of is put in place for you to make it easier. So they're going to go ahead and write a couple of ways of how to share the opportunity. One thing that I do like about this is I'm going to show y'all this. It's at the bottom. It's very small. Everything has fine print. These down here. It breaks down what PRV, TWV, and GWV. It also breaks down what team enrollment, new consultants. Basically, is record the number of consultants enrolled by your team members this month, right? So it's not to say, hey, I don't have anybody, but, Melissa on my team has 4 people. Go ahead and write that down and just jot those 4 people names down. Next is going to go ahead and be personal enrollment of new consultants. And then that's going to be record the number of consultants you have personally enrolled. And again, if you've only enrolled 1, go ahead and put that 1 and just put the date that you enrolled that person. And then go ahead and start logging those things. On the other side of this is talking about vital behavior. Prospect recognize excellence. Keep up to date. Visit daily team page, training center, consultant, Scented consultant, Facebook page, news tab, and upline, and things you want to improve. That is all under vital behaviors. What makes everything I just said about that part so important is because literally if you do it every day, it becomes a habit and it just becomes second nature. It just becomes something that you do. It's not something that you think about. It's something that you do. You instantly get up and you go ahead through your daily routine. Like, I got to make my coffee. I got to do my this and I got to do my that. And then once I'm done with all of those things, I then go ahead and I check on my team and I notice, okay, well, X, Y, and Z hasn't gotten a sale this month. Let me go ahead and make sure they're okay. A simple text like, hey, I did notice that you might have been, not getting sales yet. Do you have any questions? Are you having issues promoting things? So forth and so on. Trainings. Trainings are very important. There are trainings in the workstation. If you don't know that, now you know there are trainings in the workstation. There are also tons of trainings on YouTube. Tons of trainings on YouTube about everything. Then, of course, we have the Scentsy page and stuff like that. And if you have upline, you need to go ahead and touch base with them. And then I would just say write 2 things that you want to improve about yourself. 2 to 4. You don't want to be too harsh on yourself because sometimes if you talk about needing to improve, sometimes it can be a little bit harder. Sorry. It can go ahead and be a little bit harder to face that this is what you need to improve on. Even if it's, I need to improve being more effective with my time, meaning my time management sucks and I need to be more effective with my time, or I need to follow up better, I need to make sure I get my mail on time, stuff like that, little things like that. And then it says other, tune into leadership calls or all consultant calls and then it says post on social media 2 times a day. That's super easy. I might have already posted 1 time today. If you have a business page, you can schedule your posts. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, 1 and done. And then you're going to go ahead and write your to-do list. Your to-do list is going to go ahead and consist of everything else that you need to do throughout the day. It's going to consist of everything that you need throughout the day. So, for example, if you need to go to get your mailers done, and you need to go to Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree, Walmart, blah, 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 me, you're going to write that down. You're going to write down you need to go to Dollar Tree to pick up blah, blah, blah. Create a list of what you need to get from Dollar Tree, because I don't know if y'all are like me. When I go into Dollar Tree, I get so sidetracked before I get to why I came there. Excuse me again. So I need to write a list. I write a list when I go grocery shopping. I write a list when I go to Hobby Lobby. I write a list when I go to Dollar Tree. I write a list when I go to Michael's. I write a list when I go everywhere that I need to go, because I need to make sure that I am on task at all times. And I'm not sidetracking myself. I'm not swaying one way or another. I'm not doing any of those things. I don't know what was wrong with my light. That was really weird. So when you're doing those things, think about what you want to do. So what I suggest is the night before, to kind of wind down, just kind of think of some things that you want to go ahead and achieve for the next day, whether it's business or personal. Because your personal will tie with your business and your business will tie with your personal, because you are running the show of both arenas. So these are 2 things that I suggest you get off of your workstation immediately. They're there. You just got to search for them. If you have not learned your workstation because you're super de-duper new, that is 100% okay. I definitely understand that, and sometimes that does happen. That does happen when you don't have the time. So one of the things you're going to put on your to-do list is learn workstation. One of the things you're going to put on your to-do list every day is check out new item on workstation. Every day you should be participating actively in your workstation, in your big Facebook groups and stuff like that. Because without that, you're pretty lost. Yes, you have a sponsor, you have an upline, you have that. That is amazing. But it is expected of you to do your due diligence as now said business owner to make sure you know your stuff. Are you supposed to memorize this? Absolutely not. If you do memorize it, that is amazing. Congratulations. But you don't necessarily have to. Super dehydrated. You don't necessarily have to. You can. It will be beneficial if you did. Because the website changes, the workstation changes. We're literally getting ready to go into a transition month, and you need to be aware of that. So for me, a part of my daily routine is transcribe my 1.5 million notes to my notebook and my iPad. For the sole purpose of it being, I don't want to have 87,000 little pieces of paper running around when I need to be collectively working on something. What else? Let's talk about IPAs real quick. Little ways you can maximize your IPAs. Almost swallowed this gum. Okay. IPAs, income producing activities, right? Right. So one thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is you're doing something all the time. For me, it was to get my desk in order. It was to get my papers together so that I can be intentional and be effective today. It is so I was looking for that piece of paper. So you do them so that you stay on top of things. For example, let's just say you're building a team and you need to get your team's welcome packets out. Well, a part of your IPA can be to get your team's packets together. Meaning, grab your folders, grab your information that you're putting in it, grab your to-do list of what goes inside of each packet. If everything is the same, then that's fine. Make sure you got your team's welcome letter. Make sure you got expectations. Make sure you got how the business works. Make sure you got all of those things at least together. It can be spread out. So, for example, let's turn this so you can kind of see my desk a little bit more. We'll do like this. 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. Now, let's just say you have 2 packets that you have to create, right? Okay, so boom. Stack it like that. Because remember, these are all going to be the same pieces of paper. Stack it like that, right? So now, you have everything together. You have your welcome letter. You have your expectations. You have a printout of first things first and how to, you have all of that together. You have your contact number because you're going to always want your people to be able to get in touch with you. So, hey, keep it very professional. Always remember, hey, attach your business card to all your things so that they know that you're readily available and that they can reach out to you and stuff like that, right? Fair enough. So now, do it like a production line. Put your music on, get yourself all in the mood, and bam, just take it, knock it out. Boom. Boom. This is going to be the folder, right? You're going to get all of that together. You're going to put it in the folder. Their name and everything should be already on it. So boom, that's done. Now if you're mailing this, make sure your mailers is together. Make sure you got your pirate ship up and ready to go. Make sure you got the address and stuff already in there. Unless you're using flat rate or whatever. And then boom, put that to the side. Now you're going to knock out the next one. Bam, bam. Folder. Done. Now you've killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So now let's just say you're mailing this. So now you're going to go to your computer, your laptop, your iPad, your tablet, your whatever your device is of choice. And you're going to go ahead, and if you're using pirate ship or USPS or UPS or FedEx or whatever choice you're using to get your stuff mailed, for example, if you have to mail it, address input should already be in there. Meaning, you knew from who you was mailing this to, right? So, bam, you're going to go ahead and you should have all of that already typed up. The only thing you can't do is you have to put the weight, unless it's like a flat rate. Then you just put the flat rate size, like medium, small, large, whatever, da. It's also on the USPS boxes if you didn't know that. So bam, you're going to go ahead and do that. You're going to print your labels out. If not, you're going to go to the post office and you're going to do that same process at the post office. But if you're hand delivering it, you're going to go ahead and get the confirmation text, right? Like, hey, it's me. When would you like to go ahead and meet up so that we can get this done? I have your welcome packet. I want to welcome to the team. If you can kill two birds with one stone and meet both people at the same time so they can also meet each other, why not? And then make sure everybody exchanges numbers with each other. Make sure it's okay that they get into the group chat. But I would also say put that into your team expectations, is that you want one place to go ahead and talk to everybody. Even if you use Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever your text messaging of choice is, you go ahead and you get that done. Some people are not big on group chat, so don't just start a group chat and expect people to be okay with it. That's basically how you do your IPAs for the day. So then let's just say it is get ready day. Get ready for an event. You should always have your checklist. Checklists are going to be vitally important. So at the top of your to-do list every day should be to create your checklist. I sometimes create my checklist the night before. So let's just say today's Tuesday and I know I got 4 things to do tomorrow. I usually create my checklist tonight for tomorrow. And then I usually create my checklist for Thursday, Wednesday night, and so forth and so on. But if I think I just have very little errands to do, I don't necessarily say I always write a checklist, but sometimes I know that I have to, especially if I'm super busy. So that is definitely a thing. That is definitely a necessity. That is definitely something that you should look into doing, whereas you are not scrambling to do things. Does that make sense? I am probably going too fast. I'm going to take a stop and say if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below while I go ahead and drink my Gatorade. All right, boom. So here we go. We're going to wrap this up about everything that we did today. We definitely got into some good stuff, in my opinion. If you have any questions, if you are wondering or having issues navigating your workstation, and I'm not your sponsor, contact your sponsor. Let them know, hey, I'm really trying to figure something out. Can you walk me through the process of what I'm supposed to be looking for? I'm going to tell you right now that there is a search button on the top of your workstation that you can search in without necessarily having to ask somebody first. Let me see if I can pull it up. One second. Okay, boom. I forgot. My bad. So this is your workstation on my phone. This is the cellular version of the workstation. You see right there? You see it right there? What is that? Oh, that's my camera. Hit it. Hit that. Type in what you're looking for. Bam. See how quick that was? Sorry, because that's weird. See how quick that was? I just typed in. Okay. I just typed in Daily Power Hour. Press send. Press that. Preview PDF. Boom, shakalaka. There you go. There you have it. Just that simple. Or any trainings on your workstation. You can even do this from your cell phone. So you don't necessarily have to be sitting down to do it. Why did I show you that? So you know how to get to it. And it does make it a little bit easier. Is the workstation like a masterly, like, difficult activity? Absolutely not. But it is there to help you. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody. I hope this helps everybody. If you have any questions or concerns, just go ahead and give me a call or text me. And I'll go ahead and I'll get those questions answered to the best of my ability. And if I can't answer, I have an amazing team that I'm going to go ahead and reach out to them so we can all be on the same page with this question. So, without further ado, have a great day and stay active.